Okay, today is still Thursday, 11:26 p.m. It's January 8th. Boy, where has time gone? 5 years has just flown by. Recently, in the past few days, after struggling for 5 years, I came to a conclusion. Okay, I came to the conclusion. Before this, I, I before this, I had no clue. Okay, so I would have like sawtooth kind of thing, like that, right? Until it's zero. I would put money in, and then I would accumulate. And due to the combination of psychology, oversizing, and the wrong setup, eventually it would catch up with me, and then I would lose. And then I have to put more money in, and I would make some gains, and then I would lose. And but I didn't realize. I just kept repeating it. It's like repeating 1 mile after another mile. It's like running a marathon, but 1 mile is the same as another mile, and another mile, and another mile. Then today I concluded that a marathon can be just 1 mile, not 26 miles, a little over 26 miles, but it can be just 1 mile. Okay, a marathon, because the game of trading is a marathon, but this marathon doesn't have to be 26 miles. That's why certain people on YouTube, they say, "Well, I figured this out in 6 months." Some people say, "Hey, I figured this out within a year." And then there are some people who say, "Well, I figured this out after 10 years." And then somebody like myself, I still haven't figured it out after 5 years. Then it finally dawned on me just today, just today, just today, the year 2026, a little over 5 years into day trading, I finally realized that if I make a bad trade, it's worse than a bad trade. Okay, it's worse than a loss, because what that is doing is undermining all the gains that I had, and even worse, if I don't put a stop loss in there, it just makes it even worse. So what I realized is that what I realized is that when I make a bad trade, it'll essentially wipe out 5 years of my life, right? So what I consider is this: one bad trade equals 5 years of my life. One bad trade equals 5 years of my life, because essentially what it does is I risk it and I lose it and it's gone. So it's better to wait for a great setup, take that great setup instead of taking a bad setup 1,000 times. If I take a bad setup 1,000 times, it's worse than taking one good setup, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just wasting time. I just became aware of that fact today, right? I could have saved myself so much time if somebody had told me this. If somebody had told me this a long time ago, it would have saved me 5 years and a lot of money. Because what I would have done was attempt to perfect uh, perfect that single trade, because it would cost very little. Because what I attempted to do is use a small size, perfect it, so that I can scale it up when I achieve perfection. Okay, but what I did was I just maxed out each and every time without essentially it's called either a combination of back testing and forward testing wrapped up into one, but it just turned out to be a huge loss, and 5 years has flown by. It's gone. It's worse. It's worse to trade and lose than to take just one trade. Just one trade. Okay? One trade, and then repeat it over and over again until I perfect it. Because what the residual effect, the residual impact of just trading just one, is a perfection of and the understanding of the market and how I contribute to the losses or the gains that I have. Okay? So I learned after 5 years. And what seems to have blocked me from understanding is because it's a very, very addictive sport. Trading is a very, very addictive sport. It's a psychological thing. And it is a very, 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 very dangerous sport. It's a very, very dangerous sport because what will happen is that because the addiction is so powerful, it'll cause me to do something that will undermine my own life. Okay, that's why it's because psychological it can push somebody to the edge. Okay, mentally. Okay, because it's essentially like it's like being it's like being hammered with a sledgehammer. Okay, apparently in the NFL, Brett Favre used to be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, and then the reporter asked him, "Hey, why did you retire?" Because he's a longtime veteran. He finally said, "Hey, I got tired of getting beat up. Okay, I got tired of being beat up." And so what the market does is it pounds you. It just sledgehammers you until either you quit or you lose your mind or you somehow make it. Okay? For me, what I did was I took it. I got sledgehammered and at least at least I defeated my psychology. Now I can focus on what is important and focus on it. And so what I realized is that yeah, I could take that trade. I could take that trade over and over and over again a million times, but that million times is not as good as taking one good trade. One good trade is equal to 5 years of my life.